Tragically, nearly 35% of Texans experience domestic violence from an intimate partner. Now more than ever, they need our support. Safe Haven provides freedom from domestic violence in the Fort Worth area. Thomas J. Henry is proud to team with Safe Haven to help end domestic violence through safety, support, prevention, and social change. Please join us to create a legacy of resilience and hope.
Pickle, let's go to the hotline. And let's welcome in our world-traveling friend. He's the voice of the Texas Longhorns. You can hear him on the Horn in Austin every weekday from 10 to noon with Jeff Howe. You can also see him on High School Scoreboard Live coming up this Saturday on Bally Sports Southwest. And he'll be on the call for Carthage and Gilmer Friday night on Bally Sports Southwest. We are joined by our friend Craig Way. Craig, I have an honest question because I do not know the answer to this. Where are you right now?
I'm back home.
Okay.
I'm back in Austin and got in late last night from South Texas, which, by the way, in this season of Thanksgiving,
yes,
let me offer my Thanksgivings to you and to Pickle for pointing me in the direction of Costa Mesa, the Tex-Mex restaurant there in McAllen, because it was nothing short of outstanding. That's why I sent the photo. I did not do the patata platter because there were only two of us, and it would take an army to eat that. But I did go with the Tampiqueña fajitas and the enchiladas, and that was tremendous. So yes, I'm back home now, but I did enjoy that, and there was basketball last night in the Valley. First time ever a Texas Longhorn team had played in the Rio Grande Valley. Maybe this is year, for the first time ever, we get a Valley team in a 5A state championship game.
It could be. It could be, considering there are a handful of teams still alive for that honor. Okay, so I want to look back on the area round and specifically kind of the first two rounds of the playoffs. I've got three teams in mind here that I want to get your read on as far as has your opinion of them or how has your opinion on them changed through the first two rounds of the playoffs. We'll start with the team in your neck of the woods, and that is the Lake Travis Cavaliers. How has your view of the Cavs changed maybe over the last couple of weeks?
You know, the weird thing is, Tep, I did not think that it was possible for me to have elevate my level of respect for Hank Carter and staff. I've always respected what they've done in the championships and the way they built their program. But what they did this year to cobble together, I thought that, midway through the season, it looked like a lost season, especially after the loss to Dripping Springs. I mean, I thought, okay, they're going to get in the playoffs, but I can't see them even winning their by-district playoff game. It was a tough deal, but they managed to put enough square pegs in square holes and round pegs in round holes, although they were going well into the color chart on down to find it, to make it work. And I had Hank on my show this morning talking about it, and I said, has this season become more special to you than perhaps we had thought, given the team was 5-4 going into the playoffs? And he said, yeah, but I've never been more proud of a group of guys who just kind of grit their teeth and say, no, we're not letting this group down. We're going to find a way to win this game. And they did against Steele. Now they face I think an even bigger challenge for Brennan, even though Brennan's only loss was to Steele. But that was August 27th when that happened by 1 point. So, I've come away very impressed with what that coaching staff has done to hold that group together when they had so many guys go down with injuries, including the quarterback, for multiple weeks. Having to use multiple quarterbacks and plugging in guys where they weren't suited to play, and not just at quarterback, but at other spots. So, yeah, I've been pretty impressed with what they've done.
Another team that is through to the regional semifinals that is that maybe we had some questions heading into the playoffs was we'll go to DFW. We'll talk about the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears, the defending 5A Division II state champs. We certainly had questions about them, especially on one side of the ball. They're now through to the regional semifinals. Has your opinion on the Golden Bears changed at all over the last couple of weeks?
Maybe this is why Jason Todd wears all those white warm-ups and stuff are pulling a Lazarus-style, rebirth of this team from 0-3 and looking really, really unfit and unprepared to play. What a job he's done to get them to remember who they are, to say, hey, we are the Mecca. We are supposed to be better than this. And getting kids who, I don't know, to quote Mike Gundy, whenever somebody asks him about another team, the Oklahoma State coach, his quick response is, I don't know, I'm not in their camp, okay? But I'm not being in the South Oak Cliff camp, I can tell you this, he clearly got some guys who might not have believed enough that they could do the things that they're capable of doing like they did in 2021 and 2022 to get it turned around. So, yeah, two reclamation jobs changing on the fly in midseason, those two teams you mentioned, Lake Travis and South Oak Cliff.
And finally, I'll ask you about this at the 4A level. I want to talk about Anna. Because Anna's a team that they've been excellent all year long, obviously undefeated through the regular season. But last week against Stephenville, it did feel like a, let's call it a pedigree disparity between those two programs. Has your opinion on the Anna Coyotes, now heading into another matchup, which one would call a pedigree disparity against the Salina Bobcats, has your opinion on the Anna Coyotes changed at all?
Well, it has, in the respect now I'm going to stop being stunned by some of the things they've done, because you guys got to chuckle at us. I know Aaron Hardigan did when we kept pulling up highlights or scores and winning games, and my only response was to continue to say, Anna? And they kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it, and now I'm seeing when they have a must-level strike offense, they do it. And when they have to absolutely get a stop, they do it. So I'm going to stop being shocked about it with what they're capable of doing, no matter what happens from here on out. Great job up there, and it's been a lot of fun to see.
Talking with Craig Way, the Texas High School Ball Hall of Famer here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation in hashtag TF Today. All right, Craig. One of the remarkable statistics that came out last week, and credit to Jay Plotkin, our friend at the Lake Travis View, for this, that Lake Travis is now 7-0 all time against teams that they have that when they're facing them a second time in a season, which is a rather remarkable stat in a lot of ways. There's one other game that I know is or that I believe has an opportunity to flip the script. We talked about Anna and Salina. That is a rematch from earlier this year. We've already seen that. When you talk about, we're getting to the time of year where there's other games, including you talk about down in District 13 4A Division 2 with Wimberley playing Jarrell and Lago Vista taking on Geronimo Navarro. When it comes to a second time around, and we are seeing a decent number of rematches, how do you kind of factor that in whenever you're figuring out exactly how you think these games are going to go?
Well, no better example than the district you just pulled up, because you have two head-to-heads there in 13 4AD2. 1, 2, 3, and 4 all have reached the Sweet 16. And we've seen it before. Saw it a couple of years ago in the district with Franklin and Buffalo and Rogers and Lexington. We saw that a couple of years ago. And this is not the only district that's happened to this year. That said, then you start looking, to use your word again, at the pedigree level and where things are. And then you kind of draw your conclusions. And I was fascinated to see what our good friend Jerry Forrest and Pigskin Prep, what the computer said about it. Because the computer, as you might imagine, says Wimberley should handle Jarrell, and they did, and then some the first meeting. And I think the computer says the Texans by like 25 or something like that. And I don't think anybody would be surprised by that that's going out to Gupton Stadium to see that on Friday evening, if that indeed takes place. It's the other game that has folks looking at it going, remember, Lago Vista actually finished third in that district, Navarro the 2 seed. And the computer, I think, likes Lago by 11 or something like that. Going into that, those two are very, very, very close. And Lago is another one of those programs, Tep, that deserves a tip of the cap, like Dripping Springs, like several others that we've seen step up and deliver in a higher classification. So for Lago, for their first 4A into 4A, they've done a heck of a job with that. That could wind up being the best game of the weekend in a game of great, a weekend of great ball games. Which leads to one final thing here, Tep. You know, on this Thanksgiving weekend, there's one other thing to be thankful for. For folks who don't know this, Tepper and I, you know, sometimes we'll text about certain matchups and this and that, and we got to going about 100 miles an hour this morning about, wouldn't this matchup be great? Wow, wouldn't this quarterfinal be great? Wow, how about this semifinal? Could you see this? You know, could you see possibly a Gunner Canadian Part 100? You know, all of this other kind of stuff. And then I thought, wait a minute, we've got some great matchups this weekend. So I'm going to be thankful for the matchups we have this weekend. And then I'll get all excited like we were doing this morning next week when we get to quarterfinals.
That's true. Our phones were buzzing. He's Craig Way. He's Texas High School Ball Hall of Famer. You can hear him on the call. Carthage and Gilmer. Friday night, Valley Sports Southwest, 6 o'clock kick. He will be there. You can hear him on the Horn in Austin, and then see him on High School Scoreboard Live on Valley Sports Southwest on Saturday. Craig, appreciate your time, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you on Friday.
Yeah, listen, happy Thanksgiving. And I know someone in that building is excited about that matchup involving, Yellow Jackets and Cobras this week.
Playing on Thanksgiving, baby. Let's go.
It should be fun between Vanderbilt Industrial and whoever they're playing. Thanks, Craig. Appreciate your time.
Happy Thanksgiving,
All right.
Craig.
You too.
There he goes. Craig Way, the Texas High School Hall of Famer, joined us here every Tuesday on Texas Football Today.
I should have had the Lano screenshot pulled up, but I don't need to show that anymore because I'm terrified that you're going to be the reason that Lano loses.
You also should have had the photo that Craig sent us last night. Last night when we went to Costa Mesa?
Yes. Oh,
okay.
Man. Yeah, no, I should have.
Yeah, he was down there
because
UT was playing a basketball game against somebody else, like Northern Arizona or something like that. But they played it at UTRGV, just as kind of like their kind of preseason tour and stuff or like a non-conference tour, stuff like that. And so he got to go down to Edinburgh and like
he went to the one in McAllen.
Yeah, he went to the one in McAllen,
yeah.
And so we were relatively jealous. Anyway,
very jealous.
We appreciate Craig White popping on with us.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.